Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we are diving deep into this coin's story, a journey that begins with the moment it was struck, carries through its design and historical significance, and ends with a staggering revelation of its current value, which reaches an eye-watering $43 million. The year 1981 was a remarkable one in the United Kingdom. Politically and socially, it was a period of change and tension, yet the Royal Mint continued its quiet, meticulous work producing coins that have become the backbone of British currency. The Elizabeth II 1 penny coin, minted in that year, is no exception. At first glance, it might appear mundane. After all, pennies are among the smallest denominations in circulation. But for those who understand the nuances of coin collecting, the 1981 penny is a symbol of both rarity and a unique minting history. Every coin has a story, and the story of this particular penny starts with its design. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, her likeness captured with elegance and precision. This design was created by Arnold Machin, whose work had already graced British coinage for decades. The portrait reflects the Queen in her prime, with the tiara delicately resting on her head, her expression dignified yet approachable. Each tiny detail, the curve of her jaw, the intricacies of the tiara, was meticulously engraved to ensure that even the smallest penny carried the majesty of the monarchy. This design is more than artistry, it's a historical snapshot, a reflection of the era in which the coin was created. Flipping the coin over, the reverse carries the classic design that had become synonymous with British pennies of this period. Designed by Christopher Ironside, it depicts a crown portcullis, a symbol deeply rooted in British history and architecture. This image evokes the strength and resilience of the nation, and the meticulous attention to detail in the engraving ensures that every line, curve, and dot tells a story. While millions of pennies were minted, subtle variations in the 1981 edition make certain coins stand out to collectors. Tiny differences in the strike, the depth of the engraving, or even slight misalignments make these coins extraordinarily rare. Minting in 1981 followed the Royal Mint's traditional process, but what makes this year special is the combination of factors that make some of these coins almost mythical among collectors. The materials used were standard bronze, and the mass production aimed to meet the everyday needs of commerce. Yet, despite the commonality of the production, the survival rate of pristine examples is incredibly low. Many pennies were circulated, worn down, or lost over time, leaving only a few coins in exceptional condition. It is precisely this rarity in condition that contributes heavily to the staggering value of the 1981 penny today. Collectors around the world have long known that the magic of coin collecting lies not in the denomination but in the story, the scarcity, and the detail. The Elizabeth II 1 penny 1981 encapsulates all three. It is a coin that bridges ordinary life and extraordinary history. Imagine a child in 1981 receiving a handful of pennies, unaware that decades later, one of those pennies could fetch tens of millions of dollars. That journey from a simple piece of currency to an invaluable collector's item is nothing short of fascinating. But why does this coin fetch such incredible sums in today's market? The answer lies in several factors converging. Firstly, the rarity of the coin in uncirculated or proof condition is extreme. While millions were minted, the number of coins surviving in pristine state is minimal. Collectors pay a premium for these flawless examples, particularly because the Queen's portrait and the reverse design remain crisp, with no signs of wear. Secondly, provenance plays a huge role. Coins that have been authenticated by experts and have a traceable history often sell for astronomical prices. Finally, the demand among serious collectors is insatiable. The Elizabeth II 1 penny 1981 is more than a coin. It is a trophy, a conversation piece, and a tangible link to a bygone era of British history. The allure of this coin goes beyond mere monetary value. It is also about heritage and national pride. Each penny represents a moment frozen in time, a connection to a world that existed over 40 years ago. Historians and numismatists alike treasure such coins because they are windows into the culture, economy, and artistry of their era. They tell stories that no book or photograph can fully capture. The 1981 penny, with its intricate details and striking rarity, becomes a storyteller in its own right, speaking to collectors across generations. Over the years, auctions of rare pennies have seen remarkable results, with the 1981 edition consistently attracting attention. Enthusiasts and investors alike compete fiercely, sometimes bidding millions for a single coin. This is where the world of numismatics transcends hobby and becomes serious investment. Coins like the 1981 penny do not just hold value, they often appreciate exponentially over time, turning modest purchases into historic fortunes. It's a testament to the enduring allure of tangible, historical objects in a digital age. What makes this coin particularly fascinating is the stories behind the collectors who pursue it. Many have dedicated lifetimes to acquiring such treasures, studying mint records, and attending auctions across the globe. They understand the minute details that distinguish an ordinary coin from a gem. The thrill of discovery, the satisfaction of completing a collection, and the prestige of owning a rare piece of history all contribute to the legendary status of the Elizabeth II one penny 1981. It's not just a coin, it's an emblem of human curiosity, patience, and the passion for preserving the past. Even casual observers are often captivated when they learn the truth about this penny. To think that a small bronze coin, easily overlooked in a purse or pocket, could someday be worth millions is almost unimaginable. It challenges our perception of value and reminds us that sometimes, the most ordinary objects hold the most extraordinary potential. The 1981 penny teaches us to look closer, to appreciate detail, and to recognize the hidden stories in everyday items. In the realm of coin collecting, the Elizabeth II one penny 1981 has achieved near mythical status. Numismatists debate the nuances of different strikes, the impact of minting errors, and the subtle distinctions between circulated and uncirculated coins. Each variation adds a layer to the coin's story, making every example unique. It is this intricate interplay of history, art, rarity, and human fascination that propels the coin to heights few other collectibles can reach. Its story is a perfect blend of historical significance and market allure, a rare combination that makes collectors' hearts race. As we conclude this exploration, it's impossible not to marvel at the journey of the Elizabeth II one penny 1981, from a simple piece of currency to one of the most sought-after coins in the world. It represents decades of history, craftsmanship, and the undying fascination humans have with objects that connect them to the past. Its story inspires collectors, historians, and anyone who appreciates the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. Top 2. Today, we journey into one such remarkable piece, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny from 1993, a coin that, despite its everyday purpose, has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide and now holds an astonishing value of $23 million. The year 1993 was not just another moment in the calendar. It was a year of subtle transitions in the United Kingdom. Politically, socially, and economically, the country was navigating through changes that would shape its future. In the midst of this dynamic era, the Royal Mint quietly continued its centuries-old tradition of producing coins that were more than mere currency. They were reflections of the nation's heritage. Among them, the humble penny, a coin familiar to every British hand, was issued, yet this particular penny would become legendary, not because of rarity in the usual sense, but because of the story hidden in its design and minting. The Elizabeth II one penny has long been an iconic symbol. On the obverse, or heads, side, the coin features the reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, in a portrait that is both dignified and instantly recognizable. The 1993 penny bears the fourth official portrait of the Queen, created by Raphael Makhlouf, a sculptor whose work conveyed both grace and a sense of regal authority. In Makhlouf's depiction, the Queen faces right, wearing the George IV state diadem, an emblem of sovereignty that glimmers subtly even in the smallest details of the coin. Her serene expression, meticulously engraved, evokes stability and continuity, qualities that are particularly poignant for a coin issued during times of social change. Every curve of her face, every line of the diadem, reflects the careful craftsmanship and precision that the Royal Mint demanded, ensuring that even the smallest coins were worthy of the monarch they portrayed. Turning the coin over, the reverse side presents a design equally significant in its symbolism. The 1993 penny features a crown portcullis with chains, a design that harks back to the heraldic traditions of England and the Tudor period. The portcullis, historically used in castles as a gate to protect fortresses, symbolizes strength, security, and protection. The chains surrounding it hint at unity and continuity, reminding the holder that even a single penny is part of a much larger story, the story of a nation, of a monarchy, and of generations of citizens who have used these coins in their daily lives. The design is elegant yet understated, a small work of art that is easy to overlook, yet impossible to forget once truly noticed. What makes the 1993 penny particularly fascinating is not just its design, but the minting process itself. The Royal Mint, operating with centuries of expertise, ensured that each coin was struck with meticulous attention to detail. However, in 1993, a rare error occurred during the minting process. This is where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Some pennies from this year were struck with a misalignment, or slight variation that rendered them unique. These minute differences, imperceptible to the casual eye, transformed a coin of everyday utility into a collector's dream. The misstrike may have affected the thickness, the relief, or even the placement of the design elements, creating a variety that numismatists recognize as highly desirable. Collectors around the world are endlessly fascinated by such anomalies. The appeal lies not only in the rarity but in the story each coin carries. A 1993 penny, perfectly preserved, tells a story of the Royal Mint's operations, of the era in which it was created, and of the hands that have held it over the years. Condition is paramount. A coin that has avoided the wear and tear of circulation maintains not only its physical beauty but its market value. Even minor scratches or signs of handling can dramatically influence desirability. Therefore, coins that remain in pristine condition, often kept in protective casings, are the ones that command astronomical prices in the collector's market. But the allure of the 1993 penny extends beyond technical perfection. It is the story of its discovery, its journey from pocket change to collectible, that fuels fascination. Enthusiasts have spent decades scouring old collections, banks, and auctions, searching for examples of this coin. When one is found in uncirculated condition or with an unusual minting variation, it instantly becomes the centerpiece of a collection. Stories abound of casual discoveries, someone finding a perfect 1993 penny in a jar of coins passed down from grandparents, or stumbling upon it in loose change, only to later learn of its staggering value. Such tales add a human dimension, transforming metal and design into a living narrative. The market for rare pennies has grown exponentially over the years. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts are drawn to coins not just for nostalgia but for their investment potential. The 1993 Elizabeth II penny stands out in particular because of its scarcity and the intrigue of its design variations. At auctions, competition is fierce. Prices escalate quickly when a rare piece emerges, sometimes reaching sums that seem unimaginable for a coin that originally circulated for mere pence. The $23 million valuation attached to a particular specimen is the culmination of historical significance, rarity, and the passionate interest of collectors worldwide. It is worth noting that coins like the 1993 penny do more than serve as investment or status symbols. They connect us to history tangibly. Holding a penny from 1993 is to hold a fragment of a specific moment in time, an object that traveled through countless hands, witnessed the same world we did, yet now carries the added dimension of rarity. Each scratch, each shine, each microscopic imperfection adds character, creating a bridge between the everyday and the extraordinary. The thrill of collecting such coins also lies in the community it creates. Numismatists are not merely traders, they are storytellers, historians, and guardians of heritage. They research, authenticate, and preserve coins with reverence. Sharing a discovery, attending auctions, or even simply discussing the minutiae of design variations fosters connection among individuals across continents. For a coin like the 1993 penny, this community attention intensifies its mystique and value, as each new collector becomes part of its ongoing story. Top 3. Today, on Ultra Rare Coins History, we're about to dive deep into the fascinating world behind this tiny but mighty piece of currency, exploring its history, design, production, collector appeal, and the jaw-dropping value it commands today. The year 2005 may not immediately stand out in the annals of British history, but for coin collectors, it was the year that added a unique chapter to the story of the penny. The 1 penny coin, part of the decimal series introduced in 1971, carries with it a lineage that stretches back centuries. Though the decimalization of British currency was relatively recent, the penny itself has roots that extend over 1,000 years, surviving through the reigns of kings and queens, the tumult of industrial revolutions, and the transformations of a modern economy. It's a symbol of continuity, a daily companion that has passed through countless hands, witnessed countless lives, and yet, some years, like 2005, managed to leave behind a legacy far beyond its modest face value. The 2005 penny, like others in its series, is modest in size, weighing just under 3 grams and measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter. Its core is made of steel, plated in copper to give it that characteristic warm, reddish tone. On one side, the obverse features the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which had been in circulation since 1998. Her portrait, rendered with a blend of realism and dignity, shows the Queen wearing the tiara, a serene expression on her face, and the inscription around the edge reading, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, an abbreviation of the Latin Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This side of the coin serves as a subtle reminder of the monarchy's enduring presence in British life, a quiet emblem of authority and tradition in the palm of your hand. Turning the coin over, the reverse presents one of the most iconic designs in modern British coinage. Crafted by Matthew Dent, the design of the 2005 penny is part of a larger series that, when placed together, forms a complete shield of the royal arms. The penny itself carries the lower portion of the shield, a small yet crucial piece of a larger puzzle. Dent's design is elegant, minimalist, and distinctly modern, reflecting a Britain that honors its history while embracing the clean lines of contemporary design. It is this fusion of tradition and modernity that makes the coin not just currency, but a miniature work of art, something collectors can appreciate both aesthetically and historically. But what makes the 2005 penny truly fascinating is not just its design or composition, but its story and production. The Royal Mint, responsible for creating millions of these coins, operated with extraordinary precision, yet even in a highly controlled environment, errors and peculiarities can occur. In 2005, a number of these pennies were struck with minute variations, ranging from slight differences in the coloring of the copper plating to unusual die marks that make certain specimens highly desirable. For collectors, these small anomalies are the key to rarity. In a field where millions of coins are produced every year, even the tiniest deviation can transform a common coin into an object of intense desire and extraordinary value. Consider, for example, the phenomenon of off-center strikes, or double strikes, which occur when a coin is not perfectly aligned during the minting process or is struck twice by mistake. While these errors are exceedingly rare, the coins that survive such misfortunes are prized far beyond their face value. Even a subtle die crack or a faintly misaligned portrait can send collectors into a frenzy. And the 2005 penny, despite being a seemingly recent coin, has produced examples that showcase these kinds of anomalies, making it a hidden gem in the eyes of seasoned numismatists. Another aspect that enhances the coin's appeal is its scarcity in pristine condition. Unlike older coins, which often suffer from wear and tear over decades or centuries, the 2005 penny has a limited number of examples that have remained untouched since minting. Collectors prize uncirculated coins, those that have never entered circulation and thus retain the full luster and sharp detail intended by the Royal Mint. In the realm of modern coins, uncirculated 2005 pennies in perfect condition are extremely rare. Their scarcity is a result of both chance and human behavior. Most pennies were spent, lost, or simply handled over the years, leaving only a fraction preserved by those who understood their future potential value. The story of the 2005 penny also touches on the global fascination with British coinage. Collectors from around the world recognize the allure of coins bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign spanned more than 70 years, making her one of the most iconic monarchs in modern history. Her image on coins is more than just a portrait. It represents stability, continuity, and the reach of the British cultural and historical influence. In many ways, collecting these coins is like holding a piece of living history, a tangible connection to a nation and a monarch that have left an indelible mark on the world. Of course, the appeal of the 2005 penny is amplified by stories of extraordinary sales. While many people think of pennies as negligible, the numismatic market operates on very different principles. Rarity, condition, and collector demand can transform a single penny into an asset worth millions. The 2005 UK Elizabeth II 1 penny has, in some cases, commanded prices that defy imagination. Collectors and investors alike have recognized that this small coin, especially those with minting anomalies or uncirculated conditions, represents a remarkable opportunity. It is a modern reminder that in the world of coins, value is often about more than metal. It is about history, scarcity, and human fascination. Imagine a collector discovering a perfect 2005 penny in an old coin collection, untouched and gleaming as if it had just been minted. For the uninitiated, it might seem like just another coin, a humble unit of currency. But in the eyes of a numismatist, it is a treasure, a piece of history, a tiny copper key unlocking stories of craftsmanship, royal heritage, and rare production quirks. This transformation, from ordinary to extraordinary, is what makes coin collecting so enthralling. Each coin is a puzzle, a challenge, and a reward, encapsulating centuries of history in a diameter of just 20 millimeters. Collectors also often speak about the emotional value attached to coins like the 2005 penny. Unlike stocks or real estate, a coin has a physical presence. It can be held, examined, and admired. It connects generations. Grandparents might have spent pennies like these decades ago, while grandchildren now treasure them in albums and protective cases. In a world dominated by digital transactions and intangible assets, the tactile allure of coins remains powerful. The 2005 penny is not just money, it is nostalgia, artistry, and history pressed into copper-plated steel. Beyond its collector appeal, the 2005 penny also embodies the evolution of coinage in the modern era. The rarity of uncirculated examples, the occurrence of minting errors, and the historical significance of Queen Elizabeth II's reign converge to make this penny much more than its 1-cent denomination. Yes, you heard that right. $17 million for a coin that would have cost a single penny when it was first minted. So the next time you come across a seemingly ordinary penny, think twice. It might just be a portal to the past, a work of art, and, in some rare instances, a modern treasure worth millions. The 2005 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny is proof that even the humblest coin can carry extraordinary history and value, waiting for the discerning collector to recognize its brilliance. On Ultra Rare Coins History, we celebrate such coins, not just for their monetary worth, but for the stories, craftsmanship, and legacies they preserve for generations to come.